Well, good morning. Welcome everybody to Wednesday morning live stream. Super excited. I'm always excited about getting on stream. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. It's going to be a good day. I literally just took a trade right before we got on live. I took this inversion to the upside. It was the only inversion right here. So I just took an inversion to this high right here for about, what was it, 11, 12 handles. Let's see, what was that? 9, no. Yeah, it was 10 handles. So took a 10 handle small trade. We'll be talking about, I'm going to be modifying some of my size, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But before we do, if you're here for the first time, my name's Tyler. I'm going to be navigating you through the wild world of day trading futures, and it's constantly changing. It's constantly changing. You have to be willing to adapt and change the way you're trading or change the way you're approaching the market almost weekly. It's very, very common to have to change it. But if you're watching this after the fact, you can jump to the key markers below using the timeline, and you can see all the trades that I've taken along with an explanation of what I was thinking and why. And lastly, if you're thinking of taking your trading to the next level and you're considering using a funding firm like Apex, you can use the code DTJ, and DTJ will give you the most updated discount Apex is offering, whether it's 50 to all the way up to 90% discounts. The code DTJ, I'll drop that in the chat, and it's down in the description and on the screen. And with that, let's go ahead and open in prayer. Father, we honor you this morning. We thank you for the opportunity we have to sit and trade. Lord, I pray a blessing over every person here, whether they're joining later or on right now. Father, I pray that they would see increase in their trading. Father, that they would see increase in their understanding of the market, but also, Lord, increase in their discipline, in their self-awareness, Father, that they may be able to be disciplined in their trading, Lord. I not only pray that for them, but also for myself. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm going to open my window here. So yesterday we went through a blizzard. They categorized it. They categorized it as a blizzard. That was a new one, and it was 60 to 70 mile an hour winds or gusts, literally all night. It started around 7 p.m. and we still are having gusts of wind right now, but no snow. It was pretty crazy and pretty interesting to see take place. But okay, so let's talk about the market. Let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, Wilhelm. Tony, Emilio, good morning. Good morning. So let's jump up to a higher time frame. Let's check out the daily. From a daily perspective, here's what I'm looking at. We've ran November lows sitting here. We've ran November lows sitting right here. November lows have been ran. So since November lows have been ran, could we still see lower prices? Sure. But to determine that, I have a high and a low, our previous day high and our previous day low, marked out on the daily. And then I have our equilibrium of the previous day's range. This level right here is going to tell me if we're going to potentially move lower or if we're going to find support at it, which we have so far, as you can see. And are we going to move higher and target the previous day high? We have London high up here as well. And we have a daily order block sitting right here. So could we run up into that and then decide to run lower? Could we run up into that and just consolidate, stay in here? All of those are options. Considering that we're having we're beginning to stack new day opening gaps. I have a itching feeling that we may see some consolidation here. Now, it doesn't mean we won't get any trades, but it means we might be doing some ranging like this, which still gives us opportunities to take a trade, but it may just be a little bit different. We got 10 minutes till market open. Here's the new day opening gaps that I'm talking about. So yesterday's new day opening gap was right here, and then today's high and low is right here. So I'm curious to see if we're going to begin to stack and see them start stacking around at different points. That's common when you start seeing consolidation. So I'm just noting that right here because we haven't had that happen for about a week and a half. They're spread out because we were running. So this is potentially the first sign that we may see price stay in this area. With that being said, I have our current day's new day opening gap marked out, our high and low. On a hourly perspective, we potentially have a reversal taking place. We'll see after this candle closes right here if we're going to see an hourly reversal by 10 a.m. We did sweep this hourly low right here, which was on the previous day's equilibrium level. So we swept that here, and we're going to see where this candle closes in about 37 minutes. So we still have some time for that. On the 4-hour, depending on where this closes at 10 a.m., we could see it run back up to this and rebalance this level as well. From a 15-minute perspective, we already have the potentials of a reversal taking place on the 15-minute time frame. Sweep of liquidity here. We closed inside the range, and we have pushed or have attempted to push higher so far. We have our midnight open all marked out, and conveniently that midnight open is right in line with a breaker. We have a high, low, there's our midnight open, higher high, and we've broken lower. So price could come back up all the way to midnight open, which is already our new day opening gap low, and will also potentially give us a run towards our opening range gap, which is a premium opening range gap. So if I had to say what does the market look like it wants to do, I would probably say it has the characteristics for pushing higher. So short term, I would say I'm bullish, but when you have a narrative that we've seen so far of a sell-off, I don't want to discount that, and I want to keep that in the cards. We don't have really any 50. We have a tiny 2 15-minute fair value gaps down here, and that's about it. My other screen is not working. I've tried it. Oh, there it is. Now it's working. How convenient. There we go. It took forever for that to happen. We got a few minutes. I wanted to add one thing to my screen, so you're going to see me do something here real quick. Let's see if that works. Okay. And then I'm trying to get my my trading screen up on the same screen. Got about 5 minutes left. Good morning, T-Loff. 9:15 is an SMT. On the 15-minute time frame, is that what you're referring to? So if I take a trade, I probably will drop this screen up here and be able to stay on this screen so I can still do my analysis. Okay, there we go. All right, so we worked our way from the daily. The daily still has potential for a sell-off still. I think that's why from a higher time perspective, I still think we could sell off. But from a lower time frame perspective, I see structure that supports price moving higher. This would be one of those entries, potential entry points right here. We got our London high sitting way up here that I have marked out, but really the area of interest is going to be right around here. These highs there. And market opens in 3 minutes. So with this structure that I'm seeing, I am open to taking the 930 model as of right now because I see the structure for a move higher. I'll be taking a long for the 930 model. MR, good morning, my friend. How you doing? I don't want it to run these highs before then. The opening range gap is going to be somewhere around 50 to 40 handles approximately. I want to see this run these lows right here. And then close green. That'll be my signal for taking that 930 model. If we close red here, I'm not sure if I will take it. We do have some structure that supports price finding resistance here, so I'm okay with that. Oops. I did not have my thing set up correctly, so wasn't able to take that trade. And frankly, because it didn't do what I wanted, it wouldn't have worked out anyway. Let's go ahead and mark out our 930 price. This is a breaker right here. We'll see if it wants to actually take that to the highs right there. The breaker is based off of this level right here. This small inversion, or is this small breaker right here. We'll see if it wants to continue to find support here. Still pretty windy out. These candles are crazy, I'm telling you. See if we get a fair value gap here, or if it's going to close it. Morning, Alkai. Do we have news coming out at some point? I know that there probably is. I just did not pay attention. Let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have 9 a.m. And that's pretty much it. Okay. Gonna mark out this low. How's everybody's day going? Let's see how we react to this low right here. Let's see if we can get a push higher. Steve, great. All right, so now that we swept that low, I'm gonna keep an eye out on this right here. See if we're gonna be aggressive towards that high. We swept sell side liquidity. In addition to that, we also swept the regular trading hours PM session low sitting right here. So that's kind of what I'm banking on, is treating that as our low for the day. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a long here towards these highs. Let's see here. Let's see if that wants to play out here. Screen share. Does that not work? Okay. So we're going to see if this closes and actually pushes higher. We hit 930. I'd like to see it run through these levels and then fill this opening range gap here. That's what I'd like to see. We'll see if it can do that. That's also a breaker right there. Breaker. Initial target's going to be 446. Target hit. And then let's see if we can reach up to 479. going to take one off right there if it can get up to 479. Going to move my stop to break even. I can see us getting stopped out to drop down into this fair value gap sitting right here. But let's see if it can deliver a push higher. Gonna sell one there. I have one left. I mean, we are up roughly 35 points, so I don't want it to go back and not take anything. See if we can make a higher high here. That's a good sign. If this closes red, I'll be out. I think this could go if it will give it to us here. I'm going to go ahead and close that. I mean, we're, yeah, I'm glad I did. The breaker is still in play if you want to try to take the bigger move. The breaker is, this is the breaker right here. That's the breaker, which it just tapped again. The problem that I took the inversion long right here. This is what I took. My initial entry was the inversion long. So we went long. But if we take another entry, my risk is roughly 30 handles. This is a 30 handle fair value gap. So it's a large fair value gap. So because of the volatility, this is something I want to talk about here. I've normally been taking 5 to 10 micros, and the volatility on the Nasdaq it is significantly increased. So because of that volatility, I've noticed I've struggled with trading because I've been stopped out so many times. So I'm reducing my size even further, expecting I'm still going to get high volatility. Like this was a 40 handle move that we got. But I'm reducing my size to 2 to 3 micros, and that's distributed over several accounts. So it's still going to be fine. But I'm reducing my risk because I want to be able to have a larger stop loss and not feel bad for, holding and drawdown 20 to 30 handles. Because I'm noticing that these wicks are just really, I'm not noticing, I've seen it for a long time. These wicks are really destructive. And I just don't want to be caught up in that. Caught up in having larger size and then just constantly being stopped down. All right, what I'm looking for is to see if this BPR is going to hold. If this BPR holds, we'll probably see higher prices. So we're really watching the last line of defense for this is going to be this fair value gap right here. And where do we have our first fair value gap? Where's our first? This is our first fair value gap. So we're watching to see if this first fair value gap holds as well. This is that's probably more important. Patrick, good morning. ES hasn't made the lower lows yet. That's good to know, Tony. Bannock, nice wick on the 5-minute. Let's take out the 5-minute. We got 2 minutes till the 5-minute closes. Probably should put a find out where the consequent encroachment is for that wick. Look where that conveniently lies, sitting just below that last fair value gap. So that's going to be another signature we want to watch. Is do we respect the consequent encroachment and stay above it and inside that last 1 minute fair value gap? And it does look like we are so far. Let's see how it closes here. This also is a Model 22. If it's going to reverse here, this could be a Model 22 moving higher. News in 10 minutes. You think it's going to push us higher or lower, Bannock? What do you think? We have a 2-minute fair value gap sitting right here. See if we can get above that. Good morning, Lloyd. See if we can get above this 2-minute sitting right here. I wasn't paying attention to that. This is NFP week. Yes, it is. So we're not going to want to trade in the afternoon. So what I'm going to look at is, do we do a turtle soup here? If we are with non-farm payroll week, we expect high resistance, meaning we're going to get this back and forth price action. I would be watching to see how we react to this low. I like the low resistance liquidity we have here. That will be nice at some point. Let's just wait till 10 o'clock, see what happens. Looking at the 15-minute, if price closes below the inversion fair value gap, bearish settlement price down to 20,070. So we'll get rid of this hourly sweep here because that doesn't look like that's going to be taking place. Yesterday's low, yeah, down here. This could act as a breaker right here. Mark that, see if it looks nice. I like this little retracement right here before we broke these lows. Means that if we come up to a level like that, we could actually go short right there. Because this area of price action has been efficiently delivered, and it doesn't have to go back above this order block if it doesn't want to. So that's what I'm going to watch to see if it wants to continue to see lower prices, or are we going to completely reverse here. I don't know if you guys can hear that wind, but that wind is nasty. There's the news. All right, so we filled the opening range gap, as you can see there. And we swept all the liquidity there. That took any opportunities gone. Josh, you had some wind yesterday? Yeah, I don't. It's still blowing right now. Thankfully, there's no leaves on the trees, so we shouldn't have any broken limbs or anything. I'm not opposed to looking at this inversion right here on the 1 minute. I just don't know. I just don't like how big the gap is. And we do have a nice little breaker right there. If we are going to push higher, which we have reason for price to want to go higher. I like that idea. Breaker being right here. I'm going to take this breaker long. I'm going to see if it wants to turn into anything here. That would be right here. Move my stop to break even. I'm going to look at midnight new day opening gap low as my target, which is sitting at 527. And I'm just going to let this play out, see if it wants to go in my favor. Doesn't look like it. That gave me 30 points. Probably going to get stopped out here. But I wasn't going to take, I didn't take it because I was looking for the move up towards the top. And now it's going to run without me. I can't imagine doing a full 10 handles or 10 contracts on how large these gaps are here. These are just really large. It's a lot of risk. To be honest, going down to the smaller size feels less stressful. Holy cow. Look at that move. Look at the move. There it goes. There it goes, folks. Knowing that we're gonna get, knowing that we're probably gonna get some type of retracement here, so we can retry it if we want. Way to go, Northern. See if we find support at this order block here. And 10-11 here. We might be sitting here for a little bit, folks. A little sweep of liquidity there. we might be done for the day, folks. Knowing that we have FO or NFP coming up on Friday. Today's Wednesday. Price action not looking the best. Sebastian? Previous day low in play. I don't know if it's gonna. I think. Okay, so let's go back to the daily here. I think we could have an inside day, a fake break day, where we don't run the lows and we don't run the highs. The price action is looking that way unless it cleans up. Obviously, we have all day for that to happen. A lot of overlapping price action. All right, Northern. Have a blessed day, my friend. CFD, I don't know what CFD is. Oh. Yeah, the 100. I understand. Sorry. I don't know the name of it because I don't trade it. Yeah, just a slow grind down here. No. There's a breaker right here. I'm not a big fan of. I mean, it does fill this fair value gap and line up with that. We'll see if it wants to find support here. I'm not holding my breath. Today's not a very fun day. Characteristic of high resistance days is finding the lowest fair value gap, tagging it, and running the other direction. Now there's not a single fair value gap in all of this. There is one. No, that's been filled. Yeah, there isn't a single one. So we could get a nice push higher. That's possible. But we're in the middle of the hour. I'm not a fan of taking trades in the middle of the hour. Charis, based on ES. It's a nice little wick on that hourly. Five-minute inversion. Sell side not tagged yet. I like that idea. My guess, though, is it's going to leave it for like the PM session. On days like these, it's like the last thing that it does. It will range all day, and then, you know, do this, 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 and then at the end of the day, it will run the low. That's the only concern is timing. When is that going to be? On a high resistant days, these are more valuable targets than actually it doing an expansion. Expansions are less likely on these range type days. So if I had a personal preference, I'd like to see this find support and us come back up into maybe this breaker here. Looking at ES here on another screen. There is an idea named put wall call wall phenomena, which is an extra dimension of market price delivery. Never heard of it before. Option writer manipulate price delivery. I wish there was more to talk about here, folks. There's just nothing. There's just nothing to talk about. might call it, we'll give it a little bit more time, but we might call it a day early. I wish there was more. We got a decent trade off of a breaker and an inversion fair value gap for a long. It's decent. Folks, I think I'm going to call it a day today. I think I am. I think it's wise to just walk away, be done, and come back tomorrow. We'll come back tomorrow, see if there's anything on Thursday before NFP on Friday, and we will take a look at that. So stay safe out there, guys. Don't do any over trading, no revenge trading. Watch your model. Make sure you're only trading your model, and we'll go from there. So God bless, stay safe, and we'll see you all.